Hey, Wall Street.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
So first off, you have a question from Armand Smith. And Armand is asking you, what is your take on Amazon stock and fractional shares?
So that's a great question. So I like Amazon stock, but for me, the stock is too high and price-wise. So I would stay away from Amazon stock. But when you're talking about fractional shares, you're talking about buying shares in pieces. And, they have firms that allow you to buy, a half a share or a third of a share. And so my goal is, my thinking is that the stock closed out today at $2,647 and some change. To get a fraction of a share is going to cost you possibly hundreds of dollars, right, being the stock is so high. So my thinking is, why spend hundreds of dollars buying half a share, when I can spend hundreds of dollars and buy 100 shares, of a company, that's smaller, meaning the stock price is lower, and, it's a good company. There aren't so many companies that's, big and as strong as Amazon.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I am against buying fractional shares of an Amazon stock, trading this high up. I believe you should find a better stock to purchase that has a lower stock price.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Armand, for your question. And we're moving on now to Kevin is asking you, he's asking you about NE. He wants to know if he should buy more stock in NE that the price has gone up. And he's also asking about a company called Nikola. And finally, Kevin wants to know if you have any penny stock tips or any stock in any company that you would suggest he invest in right now.
So for the first question on the NE, I don't know exactly, Kevin, what price that you purchased the stock at. So I'll say this to you and anybody else if you guys are asking any questions about if you purchase something or should you purchase something, well, if you purchase something, it'll be helpful if you say how many shares you bought and when you bought the stock, because it's hard to really give you an evaluation if I don't know, when you bought the stock and how many shares you purchased. But the stock is right now coming down. If you check out one of my other videos on YouTube, I talked about the reasons I felt that NE was going to go up, and those reasons are not the case no more. So right now, I don't think that people should buy NE. I think that people should let the stock come down, which it has been doing. The stock was as high as 72 cents on the 8th, and it's now down to 41 cents on the 10th. So the stock has come down quite drastically along with the market. So I don't think right now you should be buying NE. I think you should wait.
Okay.
But I'll have more updates about NE soon. For your other question, I don't know anything about the other stock that you mentioned. I would have to research that company. Yeah, Nikola, I would have to research that company to give you any updates on that.
Okay.
And as far as the penny stocks, I don't have any other penny stocks at the moment that I'm actually following. That I'm actually willing to recommend to people. I'm still doing some research on a few other companies, but I will keep you updated on that as soon as I finish the evaluation. I'll let you know what's going on with that.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin, for your questions. Now we're going to move on to another Instagram follower, Poppy Zane. Now, Poppy asks about a bunch of different stocks. First, Poppy wants to know how you feel about Hertz, the car rental company, Hertz.
So I think Hertz is a strong brand. I think it's really good, good brand company. It's one of the largest car rental companies in the country. Right now, with the sheltering orders, people have not been driving, cars as much and not renting them as much. So I can imagine Hertz earnings revenues will be hit like many companies in the industry, and the stock is down. But I haven't done any thorough research on Hertz right now. I will look into the company, but I haven't at this point. I'm just going off general information I know about the particular industry and Hertz as a whole. So I don't know whether you should buy the stock or not buy the stock at this point.
Okay. And Poppy Zane asks about Whiting Petroleum, American Airlines, and JetBlue. What Poppy wants to know is if it's still a good time to invest in those companies.
So, Whiting Petroleum, that stock is also been coming down. And once again, I recently did a video about the reasons why Whiting was rising. So you should check that video out right now. I don't think that people should buy Whiting Petroleum. I think they should hold off. The stock has come down from $3.48 on the 8th to $1.57 today, and that's a really big drop. So I think people should stay away from that. As far as the airline stocks, specifically American Airlines, I believe people should have sold if they have bought it. I think they should sold and they should put stop loss orders in place to lock in the gains. The stock is coming down. It's reached recent high of $20.31, and it's since come down to about $17. So JetBlue, also same thing. It recently reached a high on the 8th of $15 and some change, and it's now falling down to $12. So these airline stocks, people need to be really careful when they buy them. Like I say, and this is just my theory on this, is that these airline stocks, until the companies get a good footing based on earnings and revenue targets and things like that, these companies pretty much just moving with the general markets. So when these airline stocks have been rising over the last 5 trading sessions going back to last week, the general markets pushed up, these stocks have pushed their footed. The last 2 days, the general markets have fallen, these stocks are falling with it. So when these stocks rally, I believe people need to take money off the table, and when the stocks fall, buy back in again these lower marks. So, if you haven't taken money off the table with these airline stocks, you might want to think about doing so. But overall, I think they're very good buys. I think they're strong buys. It's about when you get in and when you which price points that you purchase. For the other airline stock, I don't know anything about that. What was the name of the stock you said it was?
That one was, I think it's LATAM, LATAM, LATAM Airlines.
So I don't know anything about that airline. I've never heard of that airline. So I would have to do some thorough research about that particular company. But the other airlines, I think, are pretty solid. You just got to figure out which price point to get in.
Okay. And then finally, Poppy Zane asks about your thoughts on MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment.
So Caesar and MGM are well-ran casino companies. They're some of the biggest in the world. But like most of the entertainment industry, they've been shut down due to the COVID. And so once again, revenues and earnings will be hit. So you gotta be careful about buying. So what you want to look at with MGM and Caesars is find out when the earnings dates are. So when you find out when the earning date's going to be for them companies, you want to make sure that when those earning dates, before they get there, if you do buy the stock, you get out before those earnings dates come. Because most likely when they announce earnings, they're going to miss those earnings, which means the earnings are going to be bad, and the stock price has the potential to fall. And so you want to be careful, particularly right now, given that many other companies haven't been able to make any revenues and profits. And so just be real leery about the entertainment platforms, because they've really been hit pretty hard because most of their business comes from traffic. And, that traffic has been, really zero. So you can imagine that if the traffic is zero, they really haven't making any money, if too much money, any at all. So just be mindful about that.
Okay. All right. And then, so those are all the questions from Instagram. So thanks, Poppy, for your question. Finally, we're going to jump on over to your YouTube channel. And you have a question from a subscriber named Jim James. And Jim is asking if you have any suggestions for what stock you would invest in next.
So I do, but at this current moment, I am still evaluating the price points of the stocks. So I always have companies that I'm looking at and companies I think will be good to invest into, but one of my biggest things to do is to find price points. It's all about when should we get in, when should we sell. So if you continue to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel, I will be giving updates on the next things that I think that I would invest into, and I think it'll be some really good plays for people to have. So just stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated.
All right. Thank you, Wall Street, for answering everybody's questions. Remember that you all can follow Wall Street on Instagram and on YouTube, and stay healthy, Wall Street.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Be safe. Be kind to one another.